Hello everyone, another day, another lesson. So how are you feeling right now, Sukstan 2-1? Are you doing great? I hope you are. So today we're going to talk about another region in Visayas. But first, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Trixie Tutor and I will be the one to discuss about the Negros Island region. So ano nga ba sa Negros Island region? So, Negros Island Region, or NIR, is an administrative region in the Philippines. The region, which encompasses the islands of Negros and Siquijor, consists of the provinces of Negros Occidental, Negros Oriental, and Siquijor, along with the highly urbanized city of Bacolod, the most populous city in the region. And the regional centers are Bacolod and Dumaguete. So si Dumaguete o si Bacolod mo ay central region, central sa NIR NIR. So again, NIR consists of three regions, which are the the two Negros, specifically the Negros Island, the Negros Occidental, and also the Siquijor. The Negros Island region was originally established on May 29, 2015, comprising the provinces of Negros Occidental and Negros Oriental and the city of Bacolod. So all of them are located only in the island of Negros. So this time is wala pa'y apel ang Siquijor. However, and the NIR was abolished on August 9, 2017. So imagine 2015 pa siya na established pero na abolish na po siya pang 2017. So nearly 7 years later, the region was re-established on June 11, 2024. So, gladly, after 7 years, na-re-establish na San Sieno. So, pag June 11, 2024. So, this time, including Siquijor, an island province southeast of Negros that was previously part of Sanchez Visayas. So, di ba, ang original nga appeal sa Negros Island region is only the Negros Occidental and the Negros Oriental. But pag re-establish niya pag June 11 is appeal na ang Siquijor this time. So since I already give you an overview about Negros Island region, we will going to dive into the four Earth system na, namely the atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere, and how it shaped the Negros Island region. First, let's read our learning objectives. So by the end of the discussion, 95% of the students are expected to be able to describe the four Earth systems, atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere that can be found in Negros Island region. Next is to understand the importance of taking care of Negros Island region's natural resources and environment, and then to demonstrate understanding of the lessons by answering the assessment questions carefully. I mean correctly. But first, before we start our discussion proper, let's have our energizer first. So this energizer is entitled Who Am I? Allow me to read the directions first. Read each riddle and guess the answer. Only the first and last letters are given. Fill in the missing letters. Raise your right hand if you wanted to answer. The first correct answers earn the points. Since we are having a virtual class right now, just kindly comment your answer na lang sa comment section. And also, write san ang time sa kung kanus amo ni comment for me to be able to know o kinsa joy kinaunhan nga ni comment. Since we are having a virtual lesson, ako nalay mo basa sa mga questions. So, ready na ba? Ready na managna? Okay. So, I sit in Visayas, both east and west. Mountains and plains give me my Chris. Sugarcane fields and waters wide. Name this land where coasts divide. So, natay clue and hano, na siyang gi kanang first and last letter every word para dali ra siya matag-an. So, just comment your answer below. So, next is, to the west I lie, halagay non may tang. Bacolod and plains where songs are sung. Sugar field stretch under the sun. Which province am I? Name me one. So, unsa man na siya. So, just like the previous question, I also gikuan na ako nga every word siya na ay kanang na ay first and last letter every word ang naa. So, just comment your answer sa comment section. Next, S of the mountains where Cebuano is heard. Caves and lakes are treasured like a bird. Mount Talinis and Dumaguete town, which province wears the eastern crown. So, unsa may tubag. So, lastly but definitely not the least. Small and mysterious, an island of love, magic, and beaches along the shore. South of Negros, I quietly glam. Name this island of mystical dream. Okay, no? So, this is the last item na. So, comment your answers below in the comment section. And I will be the one to check if naapay naka-correct and kinsay nakauna og answer of correct. Okay, since human naman ta sa atong energizer, let's proceed right away to our discussion proper. Hopefully, na-energize mo sa atong energizer, no? Like, it help you to be eager on to learn about the Negros Island region. So today, we're going to explore the four spheres of Negros Island region, namely atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, and biosphere. The four Earth system, namely atmosphere, hydrosphere, geosphere, and biosphere, are very vital for the Negros Island region to sustain its unique biodiversity, powering its economy, and regulating its environment through a constant network of interaction. So let's talk about the atmosphere and the Negros Island region. So what are the climate nga na-experience sa mga taga Negros Island region? So, kanatong iyon ng itakal ron. Okay, let's talk about the seasonal climate and topography of Negros Island region. Negros Island region is a home to a thriving tropical environment that experiences a clear, defined season from June to November, and then dry season pod inika December to May. The island's topography plays a significant role in shaping its weather patterns, particularly in the central mountains. So because sa iyang topography maong ingana ang climate sa Negros Island region. The east coast, which faces the Pacific Ocean, receive abundant rainfall, nurturing its lush landscapes and diverse ecosystem. In contrast, the West Coast benefits from being shielded from monsoon rains, creating drier environment that is ideal for cultivating sugarcane and another crops. Okay, now let's talk about the rainfall pattern and the region. Negros Island region receives about 1,677 millimeters of rainfall each year, which means it gets an average of around 140 millimeters of rain every month. And driest months are February, March, and April, with rainfall ranging from 80 to 89 millimeters, meaning Gamay ra ang rain, more on sunny days during the nga mga month. While the wettest month are from July, August, and October. When rainfall increases man God to around 172 to 208 millimeters, it brings heavier rain and occasional storms. So overall, ang Negros Island mas kay naka-experience man sila og tropical climate. So there are more rain than sa ilaha sa Negros Island and the middle middle and later part of the year and drier weather sa early in the year. And now let's talk about the temperature range and the region. So Negros features temperature ranging from a high of 32 degrees Celsius to a low of 30 degrees Celsius throughout the year. The average yearly temperature is around 32 degrees Celsius. Sa gabi, ang temperature sa bugna nga mga months is around 24 degrees Celsius and sa warmer months pod is around 25 degrees Celsius. So it experienced highest temperature of 32 degrees Celsius during March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and October. While the lowest temperature is of 30 degrees Celsius is during January and February ra. So, ang highest temperature nga na-record sa Negros sa recent years kay pag March 2014 which is 43 degrees Celsius. Ang lowest daytime pod nga na-recorded, lowest daytime temperature recorded was on February 2017, which is 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, let's talk about the typhoon season and the region of Negros Island region. So the typhoon season in Negros runs from June to November. And one of the most current example nga nahitabo during this period, this year pa lang jud, one is the Typhoon Tinong na-experience sa Philippines last November 4, 2025. NIR experienced a signal number 4 typhoon, and one of the most affected area is the Canlaon City. So Canlaon City, 'di ba, is part na siya sa Negros Island region. So, during this month, which is November, naka-experience ang Negros Island region apil sa Bagyong Tino. The So, ang Canlaon City mao'y isa sa mga nakasuffer o kang grabe angin sa Bagyong Tino. They experience massive flooding, pass over nga experience massive flooding when Bagyo Tino pass over the Negros Island pag November 4. And the after sa flood, thick mud and boulders block major roads. Tungod sa after sa nahuman na lagi ang baha pero after sa dana kay nagkatag sa dag mga like mud, yuta may nga na. Kay syempre nga daman to siya pagbaha. The Canlaon City government even declared a state of calamity on November 5, 2025. So imagine nga grabe kaayo ang nahitabo sa Canlaon City and not just in Canlaon City and also to other places bitaw nga next nga naigo ni Bagyong Tino. And I know nga familiar man mo ni Bagyong Tino since apil man ta atong mga lugar nga na igo sa Bagyong Tino, but let's be grateful nga di kaayo kusog sa atong area ang Bagyong Tino. And sa luoy kayo na like they mubalik sila uno bitaw because of the typhoon. There are a lot of casualty nga nahitabo angin sa Bagyong Tino. So, unsa may lesson ato makuha about this? Since since the since we talk, since we ano nga from June to November, is typhoon season na jud siya sa Negros. So ikaw nga taga Negros or if ever na kay taga kaila nga taga Negros, need ninyo mag-prepare na no o kanang like mga necessities like food, medicine, ag uban pa para mapaghandaan ninyo ang typhoon kay bao naman mo nga around that months mo kuan ang ang bagyo sa Negros Island region. So ikaw kintay turista ka mudong kag Negros, ayon na lang pagtuga-tuga og dong sa Negros around that months or gusto jud ka mag-check ka jud sa weather if kanang wala by upcoming typhoons, especially that months jud kay you need to be cautious since you are nakaibaw naman ta nga mao na nga mga buwan ang naay bagyo, dapat prepared ta. To sum up all of our discussions about the atmosphere and Negros Island region, allow me to summarize it. Negros Island has a tropical climate with a wet season from June to November and a dry season from December to May. Influenced by its central mountains, rainfall average of 1,677 millimeter per year with the wettest months of July, August, and October, and the driest in February to April. Temperature range from 24 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius, and the island is occasionally affected by typhoons such as Typhoon Tino on November 4, 2025, which caused severe flooding sa Canlaon City, no? So, the typhoon season again and Negros Island region is from June to November. And now let's move on to hydrosphere, or the water resources that can be found in the island, Negros Island region. The water resources of Negros Islands include surface water from rivers, lakes, and bays, as well as a groundwater. Key surface water sources are the Binalbagan River, which is ang longest river na siya sa region. And thus the Yasan Sab watershed, it is a critical area for a water supply. The island also has lakes such as the Twin Lake sa Basilan o sa Danau, and the coastal bays like North and South Bays Bay. Moreover, the coastal zone of the southern part of Negros is identified as a site of marine biodiversity's importance in the Coral Triangle. Negros Island, located in the heart of the Visayas region in the Philippines, is surrounded by the biodiverse waters of the Sulu Sea and Taon Strait, creating an ideal environment for encountering marine life. The island coastal waters provide a haven for a diverse array of aquatic creatures, ranging from tiny sea critters to majestic ocean giants. One of the most thrilling activities to enjoy here is observing whales and dolphins as well as exploring colorful reefs and underwater landscape teeming with diverse fish and other marine species that call Negros Island. And now let's talk about the different surface waters that can be found in the Negros Island region. First is about the river. The rivers of the Negros Island region are vital for irrigation, transportation, and as ecosystem. Though some faces challenges like heavy metal contamination and flooding, notable rivers include the Bais, Banica, and Bago rivers, plays a significant role in the local geography and economy. With the with the Banica River flowing near Casaruro Falls, the region river hosts a variety of aquatic life such as numerous fish species, but pollution remains a significant environmental concern in some area in Negros Island region. And me give you another example of river that can be found in Negros Island region. Also, one of the example is the Binalbagan River. The Binalbagan River is one of the longest and most important river in Negros Island. So it originates from the mountain ranges sa Negros Oriental and they flow westward sa Gomemora Strait through the municipality of Binalbagan, Negros Occidental. So it serves as a source of irrigation and fresh water for nearby agricultural lands.
And now let's proceed to lakes. Negros Island region is home to several lakes, with the most prominent being the Balinsasau Twin Lakes, Lake Balinsasau and Lake Danau, and Lake Balanan in Negros Oriental. These natural features are crucial for the region's environment, economy, and tourism. So again, one of the example of lakes in Negros Island region is the Balinsasau Twin Lakes. It is located in Sibulan, Negros Oriental. The Twin Lakes Natural Park consists of two crater lakes formed within an ancient volcanic cone. The area is protected natural park and important site for biodiversity and freshwater supply. Now let's proceed to bays. A bay is a body of water partially surrounded by land where the sea curves inward. The coastal areas include bays like North Bais Bay and South Bais Bay in Negros Oriental, which are part of the region's water system. So one of the example again is Bais Bay no sa north of South Bais Bay, situated along the eastern coast of Negros Oriental. Bais Bay is divided into North and South Bays. It is well known for its rich marine biodiversity, mangrove forests, and dolphin watching sites near the Tanon Strait. And now let's talk about the groundwater and Negros Island region. So groundwater resources are a significant component of the island's water supply. With potential for extractions, the island's volcanic geology and fertile soil create an ideal environment for groundwater reservoirs. Groundwater in the Negros Island is utilized through various sources including deep wells, shallow wells, and natural springs located across cities and municipalities. One of the example is the Dumaguete City Aquifer and Negros Oriental. The Dumaguete City Aquifer is a major groundwater resource in Negros Oriental. It supplies potable water to Dumaguete City and nearby municipalities through the wells managed by Dumaguete City Water District. This aquifer system lies beneath the limestones and volcanic layers, allowing rainwater to seep and collect underground. Studies have shown that groundwater in the area is vital for domestic use, agriculture, and tourism, but it requires careful management due to rising demand and potential saltwater intrusion. So to summarize, the hydrosphere, the, the hydrosphere and Negros Island region. So Negros Island is rich in water resources, including rivers, lakes, bays, and groundwater. Key surface waters like Binalbagan River and Balinsa South Twin Lakes support agriculture, biodiversity, and tourism. The while coastal bays such as Bais Bay are home to diverse marine life, groundwater sources, including the Dumaguete City Aquifer, provide vital water for domestic, agricultural, and commercial use, requiring careful management. So now, let's move on to the lithosphere, or the topography and land formation that can be found in the Negros Island region.
So now let's talk about the topography of Negros Island region. Negros Island is a truly remarkable and diverse place. characterized by a magnificent central mountain range that splits into two distinct eastern and western regions. These topographical features not only shape the island's weather patterns but also profoundly impacts the daily lives of its inhabitants. Maintaining high above landscapes is Mount Canlaon, the island's highest peak and active volcano. It is the heart of the region, then demanding attentions and impact and respect from all who gaze upon it, serving as a vital focal point. This majestic mountain provides a unique and essential habitat for rich and diverse array of plant, animal species found nowhere else on Earth. On the other hand, the flat and fertile lowlands surrounding Mount Canlaon offer prime conditions for agriculture activities. Sugarcane cultivation thrives in these areas due to the ideal growing conditions. So now let's talk about the different land formations in Negros Island region.
Okay, so let's talk about the volcanic and the sedimentary mountains in Negros Island region. So the island's geology is primarily volcanic, with Mount Canlaon being a prominent stratovolcano on the highest peak in the Visayas. Other mountains from a rock chain, especially the line of mountains that separates Negros Oriental and Occidental. Example is the Mount Canlaon, an active stratovolcano located on the border of Negros Occidental and Negros Oriental. It is the highest peak in the Visayas, so around 2,465 meters above the sea level. And now let's proceed to flat plains and the island. So it is extensive flat plains are found across the islands, particularly along the coastlines, which are suitable for agriculture cultivation. Example is the Bacolod Plain, located in Negros Occidental. This wide coast, coastal plain supports extensive sugarcane plantations in urban settlements such as Bacolod City. Next is the coastal features. So the island coastline is marked by both flat plains and areas with precipitous cliffs where hills reach the sea. Example is the Punta Taytay Beach, a coastal area in Bacolod City, showcasing flat coastal plains, sandy shores, and mangrove ecosystems. Other parts of the coast, such as the Sipalay, feature cliff shorelines.
And then the volcanic rock formation. So the Basak Formation is the oldest known rock formation on the island. It composed of basalt and other volcanic materials. Basak Formation is located in Basak, Negros Oriental. This Asian volcanic rock formation is composed mainly of basalt and andesite, presenting the island's early volcanic history. So
And now let's move on to our next topic, which is the biosphere or life that can be found in Negros Island region.
the Negros Island region is located in the Visayas, Philippines. Is known for its rich biodiversity and unique ecosystem. The island's varied topography, from coastal plains to mountainous interior, support diverse habitats such as rainforests, mangroves, coral reefs, and freshwater systems. According to the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Negros Island is one of the country's priority area for biodiversity conservation due to its high number of endemic and endangered species. Now let's proceed to the forest ecosystem. Island is a home to significant forested area, particularly in mountainous regions such as the Mount Canlaon Natural Park. Those forests host a variety of flora and fauna, including endemic species like Negros bleeding heart penguin and the Negros forest mouse. The forests play a crucial role in maintaining biodiversity, regulating climate, and providing watersheds for rivers and streams.
So without further ado, let's proceed to coastal and marine ecosystem. The island has extensive coastal zones with mangroves, seagrass beds, coral reefs, particularly along the eastern and western coastlines. Mangrove forests serve as nurseries for fish species and protect shorelines from erosion. The wild coral reefs support a rich marine biodiversity, including economically important fish species and invertebrates. Next is the agricultural and human influence ecosystem. Nacross is known for its sugarcane plantations, which dominate the lowland areas, while agriculture support the local economy. Intensive monoculture can lead to habitat loss and reduce biodiversity. Efforts are ongoing to balance agriculture with conservation, such as integrating agroforestry systems that maintain some ecological functions. So in this day, we can deny that there are a lot of endangered species now. So next, we're gonna tackle about the endangered and endemic species. Negros Island has one of the highest rates of species endemism in the Philippines, but is also critically threatened. Endangered species include the Visayan warty pig, Negros shrew, and several bird species. Conservation programs aim to protect remaining forest fragments and restore habitats through reforestation. And now let's talk about the human interaction and conservation that happen in Negros Island region. So communities on Negros Islands heavily on natural resources for livelihood, including fishing, farmer, and forestry. Sustainable practices such as ecotourism and Mount Canlaon and marine sanctuaries along coastal towns help conserve the island's rich biodiversity while supporting local economies. So to sum up our topic about the biosphere of Negros Island region, so the biosphere of Negros Island region is a complex system of forests, coastal areas, agricultural lands, and human settlements. Its biodiversity is remarkable but under threat from deforestation, habitat conservation, and overfishing. Conservation efforts are vital to maintain ecological balance and ensure the sustainability of both natural resources and local livelihoods.
And now, let's assess your learning if naabot jud tayo nakuha sa atong sa ato ang lessons karon by answering the following questions. So kindly read the direction before mo mag-answer and please leave your answer in the comment section for me to be able to check your answers. Thank you so much everyone for listening with my discussion. I hope na atay nakatunan especially about sa Negros Island region. No? And also for your additional learnings, I will attach links for the additional for your additional reading about the different festivals and the provinces under the Negros Island region. That's all and have a nice day. Keep safe everyone. Bye bye.